Praying in silence. When there are no words left. There are times when you have no words to say in prayer. When your heart feels heavy. When the day ahead feels uncertain. In those moments, all you need is to be silent. Silence isn't a void. It's sacred ground where the soul meets God. You don't need to say anything. Just be there, with Him. In your truth. Gerald May writes, "Silence is not a void, but the sacred ground where the soul meets God. And in that silence, God listens, and He speaks through the very stillness you experience. Sometimes you wake up and feel weighed down. The joy isn't there. The energy isn't there. You may feel a quiet sadness. At that moment, don't try to do anything. Just say this to God. Lord, I don't know how I should feel, but I come here, and I want to be with you." Even when your heart isn't yet awake, God's light is already beginning to shine through. God doesn't need you to be strong. He doesn't need you to be perfect. What He desires most is your honesty, your sincerity. When you feel weak, don't shy away. Come close to Him. In your vulnerability, Gerald May reminds us, God is not seeking strength. He longs for sincerity. You don't have to bring glory, just bring yourself, and He will do the rest. In this noisy world, are you tired of the noise in your mind? Stop for a moment and listen to this. Gerald May writes, God speaks to us not with words, but with light, breath, and silence. When you sit in silence, you begin to enter the language of God. Do not fear that silence. It is the holiest conversation with God. Have you ever dreamt something that felt deep, but you couldn't understand it? Could God be speaking through your dreams? Gerald May reminds us, our mind may sleep, but the soul remains awake to God. Dreams may not always make sense, but sometimes they carry the gentle whispers of God. Discerning dreams is not about control, but about listening with a prayerful heart. Let God guide you, even when you don't fully understand the dream. When you can't sleep, when the night feels overwhelming, do you listen? It may not be insomnia, but God drawing near. He doesn't shout. He whispers, and He whispers not from outside, but from within you. Ask Him gently, Lord, what are you trying to say to me? The night is not meaningless. It is the moment when God's whispers are the clearest. What about when your mind is too noisy? Like your phone is constantly buzzing, thoughts clashing together like a whirlwind. How can you find God in the noise? Gerald May reminds us, God doesn't need perfection. He only needs you to open your heart in silence. When your mind is chaotic, don't force it to stop. Just allow yourself to breathe, to feel God in each breath. God doesn't need absolute silence. He just needs you to pause, even in the middle of the noise. Sometimes you pray and feel nothing. No emotions, no warmth, just emptiness. Gerald May tells us, God doesn't need your emotions. He needs your faithfulness. Prayer isn't always about feeling something amazing. Sometimes it's simply about showing up, even when there's nothing clear. And that act of faithfulness, even without emotion, draws you closer to God. Are you busy? Stressed? Do you feel like you don't have time to pray because life is rushing by? Gerald May suggests, prayer doesn't always need to be long. Sometimes it's just a pause. Take 30 seconds this morning. Simply say, Lord, I thank you. Please guide me today. Prayer doesn't need to be long, just sincere, because even 30 seconds is a moment with God. When you can't find the words, when the noise is overwhelming, when emotions aren't there, just come close to God. Sit in His silence, feel His presence in the stillness, and trust that He is always with you.